All right, shalom, shalom. It's Brother Yatazadak, hero of Israel. I'd like to start off by giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Today we're going to go into Deuteronomy chapter 17, right? Going to the Hebrew, giving honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Lord willing, you're edified. Right, let's get right into it. Right, this is Deuteronomy 17:1. Right, it reads La'a Tazabak La Yahweh Alahayaka. Right, meaning you will not sacrifice to the Lord your power. Right, Shawar Washa Ashar Yahaya. Right, meaning ox and cattle, which has in it bawa, blemish, mawam, called the bar rai, kaya ta'aibath, all matter evil, right? Because it was not a perfect sacrifice, right? So it's not in the sense that it was evil, but it was evil in the eyes of the Lord to sacrifice those type of sacrifices, right? Kaya ta'aibath, because it is an abomination to the Lord your power, Yahweh, Alahayaka, that is Hawa. Verse 2, Kaya, Yamataza'a, Bakwarbka, or Slakia, Bakwarabka, right? Because it is found in your midst, right, one of your gates, Ba'achad Shayar Yaka, which the Lord your power is given unto thee, Ashar Yahweh Alahayaka, Nathan Laka, man or woman, Ayash, Awa, Asha, which does, right, which does evil, or right, which is Ashar, Ya Aisha, Atha meaning to, the evil, Harai, right, Ba Ayanya, in the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh, Alahayaka, right, the Lord your power, right, La Ibar Barayathwa, right, to go beyond his covenant, meaning, for example, in the world, they say go above and beyond, right? Sometimes when you cross a certain line, in this case, you do beyond, for example, things that were not commanded, right? Or you cross that line, which is what is permitted in law, right? But here it's translated as transgress, right? But it's just another way to say transgress, right? Because the actual word for transgress is pashai, right? Like it says, 1 John 3:4, sin is the transgression of the law, right? Which you would say, chata, yahaya, meaning is or to be, right? Pashai, transgression of the law, ma hatawara, right? Verse 3, waya laka, waya ibad alahayim aharium, right? And they go and they serve to gods others, right? And bow down to them, waya shatakwa laham, right? So waya shatakwa means bow down to, laham means them, la meaning to, hum meaning them, right? In certain instances, hum or hama will be read as they, right? Wa la shamash, and to the sun, right? Awa la yarak or to the moon, Awa, Lakal Tazabah, Hashemayim, or to all of the host of heaven, right, which I have not commanded, Ashar La'ah Tazawayathaya, right? Verse 4, Wa Hagad Laka, Wa Shemaitha, right? So that word Hagad, the root is Nagad, meaning to reveal, right? And I believe I went over that before. So it says, if they reveal unto thee, right, and you hear, right, or Salakia, if it has been revealed unto thee and you hear, Wadarashta, right, and you seek, right, Ha Yatab, whether it be good, right, because sometimes you reread Yatab or Tawab, it means good, right? Wahana, Amath, Nakawan, and behold, right? Amath means true, if it be true, right? Nakawan, meaning and if it be so, right? Because that word kawan means to prepare, kan means so, but essentially, right, depending on context, right, it means either one thing or the other. But when you see nakawan, it means if it be so, right? Because that na before the word makes it either present tense or past tense, right? Ha dabar, the matter, na ashata, and it be done, right? The abomination, ha ta'aiba, this, hazath, ba yashra'ala, right? Right, if it be done in Israel. So verbatim it says, right, and if it has been revealed unto thee, and you hear, and you seek, whether if it be good, the matter, meaning if it be so, or salakia, and it be revealed unto thee, and you hear, and you seek whether it be good, and behold, if it is true, if it be so, the matter which has been done, the abomination this in Israel, right? Waha taza'ath, right? You shall bring them out to the man, Ata ha'ayash, ha'hawa, right? That is, or to the woman, Awa, Ata ha'asha, ha'hawa, that is, which had done, Ashar Aishawa, to the matter evil, Ata hadabar, Harai, this, Haza, Al Shayaryaka, Ata ha'ayash, to your gate, right? Right, to the man, Ata ha'ayash, or to the woman, Awa, Ata ha'asha, right? Wa sequal, thumb, ba anayum, right? And you will weigh, right, upon them in stones, meaning you will stone them. Because that word sequal, or that's where you get the word shekel from. It just means weight or to weigh, right? It's a non-literal way of saying, you're gonna stone them, right? Wa mathwa, right, and will die, right? So it reads, and you will bring out to the man, that is, or to the woman, right, that is, which had done to the evil, to the matter evil, this, to your gates, to the man or to the woman, and you will stone them upon stones, and they will die, right? Essentially, that's what it means. Verse 6, Al Paya Shanayim Adayim, right, upon the mouth of two, right? Because that word shanya means two, right? Paya means mouth, right? Ad means witness. Adyam means witnesses. Upon the mouth of two witnesses, or three, awa, shalash, witnesses, adyam, right? They will die. Yawamath, hamath, right? Meaning, so that will be read, they will die the death, which is what you read in the New Testament, right? Let's get that real quick. Let them die the death. Bible Hub. Matthew 15:4. Honor thy father and thy mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. Right? So, there you go. La'a, Yawamath, right? La'a meaning to not. Ya meaning they. Mawath means to die or to be put to death. Right? So it means they will not die. Right? Al upon paya the mouth. Ad witness one upon the mouth of one witness. Right? So it reads, upon the mouth of two witnesses, right? Or three witnesses, they will die the death. They will not die upon the mouth of witness one, of one witness. Yad ha-adyam tahaya bawa, bawa, right? The hand of the witnesses will be upon him first. Ba ra'ashna, right? To put them to death. Laha mayathwa, right? Wayar kol ha'aim, and the hand of all the people afterwards. Ba harna, right? Bayara wabayartha, right? And you will consume the evil, harai, from your midst, makorabka, right? So it reads, the hand of the witnesses will be upon them first, to put them to death, and the hand of all the people afterwards, and thus you will consume away the evil from your midst, right? Kaya yapala, mamka, the bar, la mashapat, right? Meaning because it'd be extraordinary, right? To thee or of thee, the matter of judgment, right? Or the matter concerning an ordinance, right? Meaning things written in the law, right? Because you have a law which is the 10 Commandments, right? 10 words, right? Asharath Debarium, right? Then you have statutes, right? Which are laws expounding on the law, right? And then you have ordinances, right? Which falls under laws that were expounded under a law which were ordained according, right, to that law that was expounded under a law, right? So everything rests upon the 10 Commandments. But then you have statutes, right? And then you have ordinances, right? Mashapat, right? Bayan, dam, ladam, between blood for blood. Bayan, dayan, between judge for judge. Or Salakia, between judge to judge, right? Wabayan, nagai, la nagai, and between stroke to stroke, right? So essentially it's saying between kindred and kindred, between, right, judge and judge, or a judge to a judge, right? Between stroke and stroke, right? So let's see. So that word pala, right? It means to distinguish. It also means wonderful, or it means something extraordinary, right? Deuteronomy 17. Because you have a derivative, the derivatives of palal, or a pala is palal, meaning to pray. Palal also means an exactor, right? Which is, right, you have the judges, which is the word dayan, and then you have the exactors, right, which exact the judgment, right? Or today, what you would call a, for example, modern day exactor would be a repo, right? Meaning they require, right, either payment on a certain car note, or they're gonna repossess your things, whatever the case may be, right? Then you have the judge that hands out that sentence, right, to repossess that vehicle, right? So it's just the, right, the order, right, two things, right? So you have the word pala, right? Deuteronomy 17 and 8. Just gonna give you quickly examples. Salakia. Genesis 18 and 14. Is anything too wonderful for the Lord, right? Because it's not too hard, it means too wonderful, right? Exodus 3 and 20, and I will stretch out my hand and smite Egypt with all, right, my wonders, right? Which I will do in the midst thereof. After that, he will let you go. Exodus 34 and 10 is, and he said, behold, I make a covenant before all thy people. I will do wonders such as not have been done in all the earth, nor in any nation. And all the people among which thou art shall see the work of the Lord, for it is a terrible thing that I will do with thee. Right? And then you have Leviticus 22:21, and whosoever offereth a sacrifice of peace offerings unto the Lord, to distinguish his vow, right? Leviticus 27 and 2, speak unto the children of Israel, say unto them, when a man shall make, right, to distinguish a vow, the person shall be for the Lord by thy estimation, right? The law of the Nazarite, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when either man or woman shall distinguish themselves to a vow, right? That's all that means, right? Let's just click on the Gesenius Hebrew Lexicon. Pala, to separate, to distinguish, right? So yeah, there you go, right? Now, Salakia, just bear with me. So it says, let's see what other word we're going to get. The word dayan, right? Dayan, judgment, cause which is judge, strife, controversy, right? That's not what that means. It just means judge, right? Shabbat is judgment, right? Which is where you get the word Dan, the prophet Daniel's name, right? Which is Danya Allah, right? Which means judge of God, or judge of the power, or judge power, right? In the sense of power to judge, right? Dayan, to rule, to regulate, to judge. Let's see. Adan, unused root, right? The one from the Arabic, dan, dayan, to judge, to command, to domineer, right? Which is where you get the word adawan, which means Lord, right? And let's see. Compare Shapat also with Dan in the Arabic Hakam. As ideas of ruling and judging are practiced closely joined in the East, so also they are closely connected in the languages. Right, so that's what that means, right? Compare with the Arabic Dan, to be obedient, submissive, transitive, requite, compensate, rule, govern, Dayan or Dayanan, right? Because that's Dayana, and that's another na, those little two lines. Obedience, abasement, recompense, right? Dayanan, requiter, governor, city, Madayanath, or Salakia Madaya Nathan, Syrian Danu, right? Aidin, Aramaic, Dawan, judge, exercise judgment, punish, Dayana, judge, Dayan, judgment, Madayanatha means city, right? So you get the point, right? And that word Nagai, let's look at that word. Salakia. Did I click on that word out of one? Right, let's click on that. Out of one, right? That's one of the words ISUPK always says, right? Khan out of one, right? Which is out of one or Adan, sovereign, controller, Lord. Let's just go down, scroll down. Right. And you see it occurs 329 times in scripture. Adawan, meaning Lord. Yeah, so you get the point. Let's go back to Deuteronomy. Let's get that. Salakia. Spell it wrong. 17. Nagai, right? Nagai, which is stroke, blow, right? But it really just means in the sense of touch, right? To touch, to reach, right? So that's the literal word. It means touch, right? But you could say stroke, as in someone, for example, let's get a precept. Let's see. Genesis 12 and 17. And the Lord touched Pharaoh and his house with great plagues because of Sarah, Abram's wife. Right? And that's, that's a Jake right there, that's how, that's how you know Jake wrote this, right? That sounds like Jake, right? Don't get touched, right? Waya Nagai Yahweh, Ata Pariah, Nagayim, Gadolium, right? And he touched the Lord to Pharaoh, right? Touching greatly, right? To and to his house, right? Wa'ata Bayathwa, upon the matter of Sarah, Aldabar Shariah, the wife of Abraham, Ashath Abram, right? Right. So it says the Barya Rayabtha, right? Matters of contentions, right? Rayab means to contend, right? Or argue, contend, right? The Tha makes it plural. In your gates, Bashayar Yaka, Salakia, Bashayar Yaka, right? Wa Quamath, right? And you will rise up, right? And ascend, Wa Ilayath, to the place Al Hamaquam, which you will choose the Lord your power in it. Asharya Bakar Yahweh Alahayaka Bawa. Right? So it says, because it be extraordinary, right? Or Salakia. Yeah, I'm just going to read it verbatim. Right? Because it be extraordinary of thee, the matter, for decree between blood to blood, and between judge to judge, and between stroke to or stroke for stroke, right? Salakia, because it is too wonderful of thee, right? The matter for ordinances, right? Between blood to blood, between judge to judge, and between stroke to stroke. The matters, right? The barya, that makes it plural, the yah, of contentions, rayabtha, right? In your gates, you will rise up and ascend, right? To the place which you will choose the Lord your power in it, right? So simplified, it will just say, right? Because it be too hard for thee, the matter, to judge between blood and blood, between judge and judge, between stroke and stroke, right? Matters of contentions in your gates, you will rise and ascend up to the place which you will choose, Lord, your power in it, right? Waba'a tha, atha, it's like a waba'a, tha, and you will go in to the priest, al ha-kahanyim, the Levites, halawayim, right, to the judge, wa'al hashapat, ashar yahaya, which will be in the days, bayamyam, haham, right, meaning them, wadarashta, right, and you will seek, right, meaning seek to the judge, waha gayadwa, and he will reveal unto thee, laka, to the matter of ordinance, atadabar hamashapat, right. So that word shapat really means sentence, right, or judgment, right. But here in the first part it means judge, right. Mashapat, right. Right, meaning ma meaning of, shapat meaning right, ordinance or sentence, right. But here would be sentence, right. So it says, and you will go in to the priests, the Levites, to the judge, which will be in those days, and you will seek him, and he will reveal unto thee, right, to the matter of sentence. Wa ashayath al payah hadabar ashar, right, and you will do upon the mouth of the matter which, right, he will reveal unto thee, yagayadwa laka, man hamakwam, from the place, ha hawa, that is, which he will choose the Lord, ashar yabachar yahawah, right, washamartha, right, you will keep, right, to do, la ashawath, like all which he will direct, kakal, ashar, yawarawaka, right. The ya meaning he, right. The wa just supplemental, right, because the root word is really yaraha, which means simply means to direct, right. So if you would say, right, how do you say it? He will direct what to do. You would say Yahweh, right? Meaning he direct, right? Lama, for what or to what? Payal, which means to do or something that's done, right? To that which should be done, right? Or you could say Yahweh Lama, meaning he will direct to what should be done. You could also say Aisha, right? Or you can say he will direct the work. Yahweh he will direct ha imal, right, which means work, right. So yeah, that's what it means, right. So it says, right, because the Yah, you don't want to say, you have to say the Wa here because Yara is the root. Because the Yah is there, you don't want to write it twice. You don't want to say Ya, Yara, Ka, right? Because it's gonna sound like fear. Because fear is Yara. So see, you don't want to do that because it's gonna create confusion. So you just put the Yahweh, Rawaka, right? So verbatim it says, and you will do upon the mouth, right, of the matter which he will reveal unto thee from the place that is, which you will choose the Lord, and you will keep to do like all which he had directed unto thee, right? Al Paya Hatawara Ashar Yawara Yawarawa Ka, right? And really that wa before the ka is supplemental. You really don't need to pronounce it. Like I said, and I'm gonna keep saying it, that the wa, certain was in the text are inserted by the Masoretes, which they used when they copied the text. They inserted was in certain areas to let you know, right? To let you, so they can distinguish between certain words, right? So it's really Yawaraka, right? So upon the mouth of the law, which he will direct unto thee, Al Paya Hathawara Ashar Yawaraka, right? And it kind of slides, the wa is kind of like, it slides in there, kind of like when you say Raka, meaning spirit, right? That's kind of that wa. It's more of a smooth, silent wa, right? Yawaraka, you see? Or when you say Jerusalem, Yerushalayim, right? You're not going to say Yawarashalam because it's kind of a smooth wa, right? Wa'al ha mashapat, and upon, right, the sentence, right, which you will say, Ashar ya amarwa laka, you will do, ta aisha, la'a, ta sawar, you will not turn back from the matter, right, man hadbar, or from the word, right, Ashar yagayadwa, which he will reveal unto thee, laka, Yamayan wa shamal, right? Yamayan means right, shamal means left, right? So it says, upon the mouth of the law which he will direct thee, and upon the sentence which he will say unto thee, you will do, you will not turn back from the word which he will reveal unto thee, to the right and to the left. Waha Aisha, Ashar ya Aisha, Bazadwan, and the man which he will do, right? Presumptuously, right? Because the root word is nazad, meaning to seethe. It literally means to seethe, right? Or to be presumptuous, right? Let's get that word, 17 and 12, right? Deuteronomy 17, 12. Let's just type in 17. Because we're going to also read that in the next chapter, right? Salakia, verse 12, presumptuously, right? In the sense of to make an assumption, right? Or to assume, right? Arrogance, pride, in the sense of not necessarily arrogance or pride. We'll go over it. Insolence, more like insolence, right? Kind of like a bad kind of jealousy, right? Because you have qana, which is right jealousy, right? Which is where you get the name Cain from. Not only does it mean spear or weapon, it means jealous, right? Um, but which it goes with the word qana, qanaha, which means to possess. Qana'a is means jealousy, right? But this is like a right bad kind of jealousy, right? To seethe. Let's get that real quick, actually. Um, seethe definition. Of liquid bubble up as a result of being boiled, right? So that's what it literally means, right? Bashar means to roast or boil, right? And this means to seethe, which comes after the boiling point of liquid, right? When you start to see the bubbles, it means to seethe. Of a person, be filled with intense but unexpressed anger. Let's see, seethe, synonym would be let's see, is seethe, jealousy, right? Seething with jealousy, boil or foam as in boiling, to be in a state of extreme agitation, to soak in liquid, right? So it's like a, right? You could be anger. It basically means to be angry with jealousy, right? Um, so that's like, right, like hater, right? That's what it means. So let's look at the Hebrew. Um, Zada 1. So okay, let me just scroll down. Zayad, Zada, swelling, pride, haughtiness, right? Or actually, let's look up presumptuous. Presumptuous. Of a person or their behavior failing to observe the limits or what is permitted or appropriate. Fresh, bold, familiar, um, assumptive, right? Right. So basically, it just means. So okay, let me go back to the Hebrew. Right. To seethe, to be presumptuous, right? You can seethe with jealousy. You can be seethe with anger, right? Boiling with jealousy, boiling with anger, right? Presumptuously, pride, right? Or right in the sense of you're you make an assumption, right? Let's see, pride. All right, yeah, you get the point, right? And the man which you will do presumptuously, right? Labal, labal, labal thaya, right? To not hear Shemai to the priest, al hakahan, right? He that stands, ha imad, ha meaning he, imad meaning to stand, to minister, la sharath, to the name of the Lord, sham atha Yahweh, your power, salaki, alahayaka, right? Awa, or al hashapat, or to the sentencer, right? You can also say that. You can say judge, sentencer, right? Because that's all it means, right? Wa'amath ha'ayash, and will die the man, right? That is, or he, right? Ha-hawa, wa-bayar tha, right? You will consume the evil from Israel, harai ma yasha'ala, right? So it reads, and the man which you will do presumptuously to not hear to the priest, he that stands to minister in the name of the Lord, your power, right? Right, or to the sentencer or judge, right? And will die the man he, and you will consume the evil from Israel, right? But simply put, and the man which he does presumptuously to not hear to the priest that stands to minister in the name of the Lord, your power, or to the judge, right? And will die that man he, and you will consume the evil from the midst of Israel, right? Verse 13, what call ha'aim Yashamaiwa, and all the people they will hear and will fear. Wayara, Wayara'a, Wala'a, and will not, and they will not do presumptuously, because that word goes together. Wala'a, Yazayad one, right? Wa meaning and, La'a meaning to not, the Ya meaning they, Zayad one meaning presumptuously, right? So they will not do presumptuously Iwad anymore or again, right? So in all the people they will hear and will fear, and they will not do presumptuously anymore. Kayath Abba al ha-rataza ashar Yahweh al hayaka, right? Because you will go in to the land which the Lord your power has given to thee, Matan Laka, right? And you will possess Wayarashta, and you will inhabit Wayashabtha, right? Because that word Wa meaning and, Yashab, right, is the word meaning to inhabit. The Tha at the end means you, right? In it, Ba, right? Baha, right? Which is really, Ba meaning in, Ha meaning, to, right? But in it, right? Wa Amartha, and you will say, Ashayama, right? I will place upon me al ya al Ilaya, right? or Salakia Aliyah, right? Meaning upon me, Malak, a king, like all the nations which are round about. Kakal, Hagawayim, Ashar, Sabiataya, Sabiabtaya, right? Round about me, right? The root word is sabab, right? Salakia, let me see. Deuteronomy 17:14. Deuteronomy 17. Just bear with me. Deuteronomy 17:14. Sabiab is the root word, right? So it reads, because you go in to the land which the Lord your power is given unto thee, and you will possess and inhabit, and you will inhabit, right, upon it, and you will say, I will place upon me a king like all of the nations which are round about me. Shawam, Tashayam, Aliyaka, right? Surely you will place upon thee a king, Malak, Ashar, Yabahar, Yahweh, Alahayaka, which you will choose the Lord of your power, right? In him, Bawa, Makwarab, for the midst of your brethren, Achiaka, right? Tashayim, Al-Yaka, you will place upon thee a king, Malak, right? So that's talking about, right, from the midst of your brethren, you will place a king upon you. La'a, Tawakal, Lathath, you will not be able to place upon thee, Al-Yaka, a man, stranger, Ayash, Nakarya, which is not of your brethren, he, right? Ashar, La'a, Achiaka, Hawa. Right? So it reads, surely you will place upon thee a king, which you will choose the Lord of your power, right? In him, from the midst of your brethren, you will place upon you a king, right? You will not be able to place upon you a man, a stranger, which is not of your brethren, he. Right? Rakwa, La'a, Yaraba, Lawa, Sawasium, right? The word Rakwa means also. You will not be able to he will not be able to multiply to himself, right? Horses. So La'a means not. Ya meaning he, Rabah meaning to multiply. Lawa meaning to himself. Sawasium, horses, right? So he will not be able to multiply to himself horses, right? That's how you read it. Also, he will not multiply to himself horses, right? Wala'a Yashayab, right? And he will not place, or Salakia, turn back, because that word Shawab is the root, meaning to turn back, right? And he will not turn back to the people, Atha Ha'im, to Egypt, right? Matazar Yama, Lamayan, so that, right, he may multiply horses, right? Harobawath, Sawas. Wa Yahweh Amar Lakam, right? And the Lord said unto you, La'ah Tasap one, right? Meaning you will not again, right? La'ah means do not, Tata means you, Sawap means to add or again, right? Or no more, right? So you can read it, again or no more, either way. La'ah Tasap one, you will no more turn back, La Shawab, in the way, Ba Darak, this, Hazah, anymore, or again, right? So it reads, only he will not multiply to himself horses, and he will not turn back to the people, to Egypt, so that he may multiply horses, right? And the Lord said unto you, you will not anymore turn back in the way this anymore, right? So that's talking about, right? Speaking on many instances, right? Because a lot of good horses came from Egypt, right? Let's see. Good horses came from Egypt. Right. So it says, we do believe the ancient Egyptians were breeding horse because they were very well aware of the difference between stallions. Um, why were horses well spoken of in Egypt in the Bible? So let's see what this says, what the Bible says about multiplying horses, right? Says, given the size and scope of the empire he inherited from his father, transportation and trade, beyond this, horses were prime war chariots, so multiplying horses can indicate territorial transgression, showing a lack of faith in God and too great faith in armies, right? Which is why I believe Isaiah 30 says, do not trust in horses, right? Or men, right? But trust in Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? And that's what Solomon did. He transgressed, he multiplied wives and horses, gold, right? Which led him to go off. Slakia. Let's see, why does the Bible say not to multiply horses? Um, the primary reason that God forbade the Israelites from owning, multiplying horses was that it would have forced their correspondence and reliance upon Egypt, the premier provider of horses in the Middle East at that time, right? So that's in order to keep away from the ways of Egypt, right? Because he said, you shall not turn back, you shall see it no more again, literally and figuratively, as in their ways, right? So that's kind of a cut to Deuteronomy 28 and chapter 28, right? And 68, right? So when people say, that was just literal, this tells you otherwise, right? That it was literal and figuratively, right? As in their ways, right? But anyways, you get the point. Verse 17, Wa la'a yaraba lawa nashayim, and he will not multiply unto himself men, or slack wives. He will not multiply to himself wives, nashayim, because men plural is anashim, right? So he will not multiply to himself wives, wala'a yasawar, and he will not turn back to his heart, lababwa, right? So that they may not turn back to his heart, right? So that was the reason why you shouldn't multiply wives, because it would turn back your heart from the important things like rulership and the law, right? That's what happened to Solomon, right? Wa kasap, wa zahab, and silver and gold he will not multiply to himself. La'a yarabah lawa ma'ad, exceedingly. Wahaya kashab salakia. Wahaya kashab tawa. Salakia. Wahaya kashabathwa. Right? Because that word ka meaning like, the word shab means to sit. The tha meaning it's denoting that person, right? The subject, right? Right? So it will come to pass, like when he sits, right? Al-Kasa, upon his throne, right? Which is the word kasa, meaning throne, is the root is kasa, kasaha, meaning covering, right? Because that's what the throne, the seats of throne that were covered in precious gold and whatnot, right? So it come to pass, like when he sits upon his throne of his kingdom, of his dominion, right? Malaktawa, Malaktawa, right? Because the word Malakwath means kingdom. That extra ma before it makes it his dominion, right? Great dominion. Wa katab lawa ata mashana, and he will write to himself a copy of the law. Hatawara, mashana means copy, right? It's a derivative of shanya, meaning to, ma meaning of, so it's really of to, meaning double or copy. So if you say a double-minded man would be mashana labab ayash, right? Hathawara, Hazath, right? Meaning this, Al Sapar, upon a book or scroll, right? Malapanaya, right? Before the face of the priests, plural. HaKahanyam, the Levites. Halawayim, right? So it reads, and it will come to pass when he sits upon his throne of his dominion, and he will write to himself a copy of the law, the Torah, of the Torah of this, upon a scroll before the face of the priests, the Levites. Wahayatha, I am Wa, Wakwara, Bawa, right? And it will be with him, right? And he will read in it all the days of his life. Call Yamaya, Haya Yahweh, Lamayan, so that he may learn. Ya meaning he, Lamad means to teach or learn. To fear, La Yara'ah, to the Lord his power. Atha Yahweh, Allahayawa, Allahayawa, right? To keep to all the words of the Torah. La Shamar, Atha call, the Barya, Hatawara, this, Hazath, right? Wa Atha HaChakwayim, and to the statues these, Ha'alha, right? To do them, La Aishatam, right? Let's see where we're at. All right, Khan. Labal, Labalthaya, right? Rawam, Lababwa, right? Meaning to not exalt his heart. Ma Akyawa, from his brethren, right? Walabalthaya, Sawar, right? And to not turn back from the commandment. Man Hamatazawa, to the right, Yamayan, and to the left, Wama Shamal, right? So you see there's a Wa in there, but it wasn't in the previous Shamal, right? When it said right and left, it's not necessary. Lamayan, so that they may be prolonged or made long. Ya'arya, Ya'aryaka, right? Because that word, the root word is arak, meaning to make long or lengthen or length, right? But you know, you don't want to put, you don't need two kas there, because that's what the ya is supplemental, right? It gives you distinction between the word, right, and the what comes after it, right? So the ya means he, right, or they, right? Arayaka, right, may be prolonged, right? Or slakia, that's what it means, right? They, right, may be made long, right, unto him, right? Which is why the ya is there, because it gives you, right? For example, let's see. So that really means he may lengthen unto thee, right? Which is right? Or Salakia, it just says so that he may lengthen, right, the days upon his dominion. Ya Arayaka, right? Um, or Salakia, they may be lengthening the days upon his dominion, right? Ya Arayaka Yumayim al Mamalakathawa, right? Or Salakia Ma Malakthwa, right? Ma Malakathwa. Yeah, Salakia, right? Al Ma Malakathwa, meaning his dominion, right? Hawa, meaning he, right? Wabanayawa, Wabanyawa, right? And his sons in the midst of Israel by Korab Yasha'ala, right? So it reads, right? And will not be lifted up his heart from his brethren, and will not turn back from the commandment to the right or to the left, so that they may be lengthening the days upon his dominion, he and his sons in the midst of Israel, right? So there you have it. That's Deuteronomy chapter 17, going into the Hebrew. Lord willing, you ratified, giving honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Makakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Kwame Asherala, about Baal Shalom.